All right, so this is a question I get quite a bit every time a new festival comes out, and I think it's worth making its own video for because I think it's like a really big like decision to make when you're like spending these valuable resources and everything like that, right? So, what character is it worth buying from the festival coins right here? And I think again, it's just three festival coins is not easy to come by for most players, right? So having this decision to make is very, very valuable and important. And I think, I don't know how this video is going to do. Probably not going to do very well, but I felt like it was important to make a video on. Right now, we are having Diane's banner. I'm going to also talk about the other festival characters that aren't here, like the Holy War festivals. For when they come out, so this video can actually... Ooh, I clicked the wrong thing. So this video can actually be of use for when those come out as well. But in general, I think that majority of the festival purchases right here are just not worth it. The top three right here, the first three, are just simply not worth buying anymore. Lost Vein. I mean, one day, Lost Vein and King will get Holy Relics. But not right now. They don't have it right now. So it's not worth. These three are not worth buying. So I'll just check them off the list. Goddess Liz is still a very good unit. And if you don't have a single copy of her, it is maybe worth considering. But she's been in so many banners that it's not worth buying dupes for. I think a lot of times when people are buying these extra coins right here, they're buying their first copy, right? But a lot of times as well, they're buying dupes, obviously. So for the first time, if you don't have a single copy of Goddess Liz, she is in the discussion. But I still would put her below other characters, because if you don't have a single copy of her, that means that you probably are going to need dupes for her to actually be of value, or like in PvP and stuff. And for PvE, there are not many activities Goddess Liz is actually very helpful for a 1-6, really. Like, there are activities Goddess Liz is actually helpful for, like maybe like the Demonic Beast battle, but you need her 6-6 and stuff for her actual like ult to actually be good, so... and then we start talking about like the more important characters right here. The one I think is at the top for most players still, because the one is the one character. The one is the character that you want to have 6-6 in your box. The death 100% is absolutely crucial for Demonic Beast battle, for both Bird and the Deer. So the one, I want to say for majority of players, having him 6-6 is very important. And he's been in so many banners. So a lot of you that have been, playing the game for a while might have pulled him with a few copies here and there, but maybe not have 6-6 them. So I would say if you are in, with maybe, a few festival coins here of like maybe duped characters like Old Festival King, Lost Vein, right? The one is most certainly a character to be in the discussion for dupes. If you don't have the one, so in this situation where you don't have a single copy of the one, I still think it's worth buying just to have him, even if death is going to be 1-6 for you. But let's say you don't have the one, but you also don't have any of these characters right here at the bottom. I think King is like a fantastic choice, and so is Ban. Ban, though... if you are very early into the game, I don't think is worth buying anymore. Ban is only really worth buying copies for if you have Terry. And if you don't have Terry at all, I don't think so. Because Ban right now, not that he's bad in anything other than PvP, he's actually certainly very good in PvE. But he's really a PvP only character. Like, let's be real here. He's really a PvP only character. And if you don't have his proper team to work with, it's not worth even having him, really. So Purgatory Ban, although he's a phenomenal PvP character, I wouldn't say he should be in the top of priority for most players to buy like their first copy of, if they can't make the team. If for some reason you don't have Ban, but you have like Arthur, Terry, and Twiggle ready to go, like, yeah, it's a really good option, because then you might need his Holy Relic, but yeah, I would say that would be like my recommendation for Ban. If you have Ban 5-6 and you have the whole Ban team ready to go, then getting his last copy is actually worth it. But then you also gotta think, right? Like, If I have him 5-6, that means there's a good chance the next time I pull for him when he's featured and I pull a copy for him, I'm going to finish him off. And if I buy him right now, then I pull the copy next time, then it's going to be a waste. I mean, it's not a waste because you're going to get a festival coin out of it, but yeah. Merlin, although I really like Merlin, if you're not ready to give her the Holy Relic, I don't think she should be in anyone's top priority. She gets very strong with the Holy Relic though, very, very strong. And if you can give her the Holy Relic, she's very good for PvP. But just like Ban, it's a PvP only character, and unlike Ban, she's not really meta right now in PvP. She's very good. I would say she's like at the top there, but she's not, one of the top teams in the game. Gowther, I would say, is also not, unless I'm saying like unless you can make these teams, right? We shouldn't really consider. And like Gowther is really like, if you don't have Emilia and you don't have Lolly Merlin already ready to go and stuff like that, like Gowther is not even an option. Like he's not good for PvE. Maybe he's gonna be good for a future PvE activity or something, but right now he's not good for any like actual PvE content that actually matters. So I wouldn't recommend Gowther at all. King, if you don't have a single copy of King, he is so worth it. He's so worth it. Festival King, I think, is underrated. He is so good. In PvP, his 1/6 ultimate is not going to do much with the 2%, but his cards are actually matter. Like, this is one of those characters that, yeah, you have him 1/6, but most of your damage is going to be coming from your cards anyways. So just having him is just so valuable. Festival King should be at the top of priority for most players. So out of these 6 characters, I think top of priority for, again, majority of players should be the One and King. And the One, specifically if you want dupes for him to be 6/6, because you really want him to be 6/6 for those demonic battles. And King, if you don't have a single copy of him, I think he should be your number 1. Right here, from these 6, he should be your number 1. King is so good. You want to have him. You just really want to have him. So talking about characters that are not here on this store right now, because we don't have a... we don't really have, what's it called? The other festival, Holy War Festival. I'm going to start talking about them just in general. Cusack, I want to say Cusack is just not worth buying at all. Cusack is a very good Demonic Beast battle character if you have him 6/6, but I think that if you have the 1/6/6, there's no reason to have Cusack 6/6. Like, Cusack 6/6 is very strong, but the 1 just edges him out because Death... Like, Abyss for him got super cocked, right? Because unless you have Cusack at 5-6, his Abyss is only 25%, and unlike, like, King, like, let's say Festival King right here, right? Which they gave Abyss... Like, I know Abyss is his only effect, and maybe that's why. But for 2 turns, right? Well, Cusack gets for 1 turn. Like, Death is much stronger than Abyss. So, I would say, like, if you are looking for buying a festival unit with coins, the 1 should be your priority, not Cusack. And if you already have the 1/6/6, Cusack shouldn't even be your priority. Assault Meliodas... Let me open Assault and Traitor Meliodas. Assault Meliodas should be no one's priority. This guy has been shafted more than any character in the game. It's just unfortunate, He's a good unit, but getting dupes for him is pointless, really. His ultimate doesn't get that much stronger with dupes anyway, so Assault Meliodas should not be anyone's priority. Traitor Meliodas, I don't know when he's coming to the store, to be honest. Because he's not a Holy War Festival, but I'm going to assume that he's going to come with the next Holy War banner. Traitor Meliodas is more than worth buying. That's considering if you don't have any copies of him, and if you have copies of him. If you don't have him 6/6, but you also, have him like high level, I still think he will be very worth buying because of these, right? The debuff multiplier on the debuff that he applies gets so much stronger, and the cleave multiplier. And this is huge. The cleave multiplier at 6/6 is 100%. And if you're stacking those buffs, Melly's crit damage gets very strong, right? So, yeah, he's the best unit in the game. The best overall character in the game for both PvE and PvP combined is Traitor Meliodas. There is no... there's no talk. Like, he is the best unit in the game overall. He is stupid good for PvP and PvE, especially those demonic beast battles with the damage reduction. He is so valuable for any player in the game. So yeah, Meliodas is the top number one. He's the number one of any character. I just didn't mention before because obviously these characters are the ones that are in the coin shop right now because of the festival banner that we currently have, and we're not gonna have him appear again for a while. But if you want to save your coins for him, if you want to skip the characters that are currently on this shop and save your coins for Traitor Meliodas, I think it's more than worth it. He is number one, and he even has it here on his passive. Number one. He's number one. Anyways, Margaret, Margaret, I think, at this point in the game, if you don't have any copies of her, like if this is one of those characters that you have 0 copies of, I think buying one of her might be very worth it because of all her potential with the blue card. But if you've never felt like you needed her before, then buying just for the 1 copy, I don't think is that big of a deal. But I want to say, like, if I had to, like, rank the characters that I would recommend if you have 0 copies of, Traitor Meliodas would be number 1, and Margaret might actually be number 3, number 2 being King. So, like, Traitor Meliodas, King, like, Margaret. Because Margaret, at 1/6, she's not going to have the insane, like, disable card effect. If you don't know the history of Margaret, right? This unit used to be okay when she came out, and then they buffed her blue card to be like this insane monstrosity that it is, right? I don't think she even cleansed the level 1 before she got buffed, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really remember right now. I could check. And her ultimate got this 6/6 effect, which she didn't have before, right? So everyone's like, whoa! But yeah, even if you can't get the buff or the debuff at the 6/6 level here, the buff card is so strong. So yeah, I would say it's very worth it. And the other Holy War, yeah, Zeldris. I almost forgot about Zeldris. I mean, I don't think it's worth buying copies for Zeldris. If you have 0 of him, he is very good to have if you have like Kyo and stuff, but he is like more of a whale type character. Like if you don't already have the teams that will work well for him, it's not really worth buying. And for PvE, he's pointless. Like there's not really anything that he's good at for PvE really. So those are, I think I'm not missing any festival characters. Yeah, those are all the festival characters in my recommendations. Again, festival coins are not easy to come by, so make sure that you know what you're doing, that you know, like, that's the decision that you want to take. I'm actually checking if I missed anyone. I don't think I did. I don't think that I did. Make sure that you're, you know, happy with your choice. Most of all, you know, I'm not your dad, so you can do whatever you want. If you also want to wait for Deanne to come back to the shop, if you want to skip her banner, that's actually not a bad idea. She is very good for demonic beast battle and stuff like that. And she's good for PvP as well. But I would say, like, out of all characters that I don't want to have 1/6, it's Quell. No chance. That's the name of her ultimate? Ability is Quell? Can I... how do I check that? Here? That's so ugly. Anyways. I was in game and I checked Quell. At 1/6, she's horrible. Like, her ultimate... As you saw right there, the Quell... it gets plus 5% per stance at 1/6, and then at 6/6 is 50%, and then the heal multiplier is only 3%. Like at 1/6, this unit is atrocious because you actually really want to push ults for her. You really do. Like her DPS with the single targets is good when she takes a lot of damage, but you really want to push ults for her, and her ults suck cock unless she's 6/6. So you gotta keep that in mind. But yeah, those are my recommendations. Yeah.